safer world is possible, and together we can and will make it happen. Thank you.
When you show up in community, you find that group that makes you feel like home, but oftentimes you also find yourself again.
I wanted to punch myself in the face when I saw this video because she's doing this like slow motion model pose thing that is just so contrived.
I walk like that when I want to really show off.
No one walks like that. So
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sussexful, the home of love, truth, and unwavering support for Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan. I'm your host, Emma, and before we get started, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Sussexful, the channel that always stands with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, defending them with facts, dignity, and heart. Now, family, let's talk about Ricki-Lee's attempt to sabotage Meghan's Vogue victory, which has completely backfired after JTB schooled her like never before. It's so sad to see how far some people will go when jealousy and bitterness consume them. Ricki-Lee's obsession with trying to tear Meghan down only exposes her own insecurities. Meghan is thriving, brilliant, beautiful, and successful, while others are stuck throwing stones from the sidelines. To those who let hate eat away at them, please, seek peace and healing. No one should ever let bitterness or online hate push them to a dark place. Meghan's strength, grace, and compassion are proof that light always wins over darkness. When people can't rise to your level, when they're not comfortable in the same spaces of excellence and grace as Duchess Meghan, they resort to mockery. But let's remember, what's meant for Meghan will always be hers, and no amount of hate can change that. So to all our Sussexful supporters, keep shining, keep loving, and keep defending the truth. The Sussexes are blessed, and we will continue to celebrate them right here on Sussexful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of Sussex support and royal truth. Until next time, I'm Emma, and remember, light shines brightest when the world tries to dim it. Ricki-Lee's underhanded attempt to undermine Meg's Vogue cover victory backfired spectacularly, as her bitter tirade only served to highlight her own insecurities and inadequacies. Instead of gracefully accepting defeat, Ricki-Lee lashed out with a series of scathing online attacks, desperately trying to discredit Meg's achievement. However, her venomous comments only succeeded in exposing the deep-seated jealousy and resentment that had been festering within her all along. Rather than earning sympathy or support, Ricki-Lee found herself on the receiving end of a well-deserved public scolding, as the vast majority of onlookers condemned her petty and vindictive behavior. Ricki-Lee's visceral hatred towards Meghan stems from her inability to operate in the same spaces as the Duchess. Consumed by jealousy and resentment, Ricki-Lee has lashed out, attempting to sabotage Meghan's success at every turn. Her bitter tirades and attempts to undermine Meghan's achievements only serve to highlight her own insecurities and lack of self-worth. Rather than focusing on her own career and personal growth, Ricki-Lee has become obsessed with tearing down a woman she clearly sees as a threat to her own relevance. This unhealthy fixation on Meghan is a reflection of Ricki-Lee's own shortcomings and the fact that she cannot measure up to the poise, grace, and accomplishments of the Duchess. Ricki-Lee's attempt to sabotage Meghan's Vogue win was a misguided and ill-conceived plan that ultimately backfired spectacularly. Driven by what can only be described as a visceral level of hatred and envy, Ricki-Lee tried to undermine Meghan's achievements by spreading rumors and making disparaging remarks. However, her actions were quickly exposed, and instead of derailing Meghan's success, they only served to highlight Ricki-Lee's own insecurities and lack of self-confidence. In the end, it was Ricki-Lee who received a well-deserved schooling of a lifetime as the public rallied behind Meghan, recognizing her grace and resilience in the face of such petty and vindictive behavior. JTB, a renowned figure in the entertainment industry, did not take Ricki-Lee's comments lightly. In a firm and unwavering defense of Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, JTB delivered a scathing response that was nothing short of a schooling of a lifetime for the aspiring artist. With a clear understanding of the complexities surrounding Meghan's journey, JTB called out Ricki-Lee's attempts to sabotage the Duchess's Vogue cover, denouncing such behavior as a manifestation of deep-seated insecurities and a lack of understanding of the challenges faced by those in the public eye. Ricki-Lee's shocking confession on tape about considering taking her own life due to her intense hatred towards Meghan is a tragic and deeply concerning revelation. While her feelings towards the Duchess may be understandable, resorting to suicidal intentions is an extreme and reckless response that requires immediate intervention and support. Ricki-Lee must seek professional help to address the root causes of her anguish and find healthier ways to process her emotions, rather than allowing them to spiral into such a dark and self-destructive mindset. Her life is precious, and no matter the circumstances, taking one's own life is never the answer. With the proper care and guidance, Ricki-Lee can work through this challenging period and find a path forward that does not involve harming herself. Ricki-Lee, if you are truly considering harming yourself due to your resentment towards Meghan, I urge you to seek immediate help before taking any drastic actions. Meghan would not be happy to see you in such a state, consumed by suicidal intentions born out of your inability to match her success and accolades. Rather than lashing out or spiraling further, the healthiest path forward is to speak to a professional who can provide the guidance and support you need during this difficult time. Your life has value, and there are always alternatives to self-harm, no matter how bleak things may seem. I implore you to prioritize your well-being and reach out for help before it's too late. Ricki-Lee's mocking behavior, honestly, stems from her inability to acclimate to the same high-profile spaces that Meghan Markle has seamlessly navigated. You know, Ricki-Lee's demons are triggered when she fails to stay in her own lane, and she ends up resorting to petty jabs and insults as a way of lashing out against someone she clearly envies. Her bitterness and non-productive actions just serve to further inflame her inner turmoil, as she struggles to come to terms with her own shortcomings in comparison to Meghan's success and poise. Instead of wallowing in resentment, Ricki-Lee would do better to focus on her own growth and self-improvement, rather than trying to undermine those who have surpassed her. Ricki-Lee's unproductive behavior is, honestly, pretty clearly a result of her deep-seated bitterness towards Meg's success and the recognition she has received. Rather than channeling her energy into productive pursuits, Ricki-Lee has, unfortunately, resorted to petty attempts at sabotage and mockery. This bitterness and the resulting counterproductive actions should really be firmly avoided, since they only end up further damaging one's own standing and reputation. If Ricki-Lee can't move past her demons and focus on her own accomplishments, she risks continuing down a path of self-destruction. The mature and constructive path forward is to rise above the pettiness, learn from one's shortcomings, and strive to achieve greatness through one's own merits. It's crucial that Ricki-Lee stays firmly in her own lane when it comes to Meghan Markle. As someone who hasn't experienced the same spaces and challenges as the Duchess, Ricki-Lee really does risk triggering her own personal demons by trying to engage with or criticize Meghan. When individuals aren't acclimated to the same high-profile environments, their natural inclination might be to lash out and mock those who found success there. However, the wise choice is to resist that urge and just focus on one's own path. By staying in her own lane, Ricki-Lee can avoid needlessly stirring up negativity and allow Meghan to continue shining in her own right. Ricki-Lee must act quickly and seek immediate professional assistance to address her troubling suicidal thoughts and intentions. Harming oneself should never be an option, no matter how dark the circumstances may seem. By reaching out for help from qualified mental health experts, Ricki-Lee can begin the process of working through her struggles in a healthy, constructive manner. Confronting these challenges head-on, with the proper support system in place, is truly the only way for her to move forward and find a path towards healing and self-acceptance. The time to act is now, before any irreversible actions are taken.